what is this? Hi, okay, I know, like, I've already done the Mass and the Eucharist video, but I'm gonna do another one that's related to the Eucharist because I feel like it and because Adoration is awesome. So this is like a series within a series. There's like 3 videos within the series. It kind of expanded. Anyway, so this one's gonna be about Adoration. Adoration is basically when the host, the Eucharist, is exposed in something called a monstrance, which is it's this big gold thing. I'll show you. It's like this. I once heard someone explain Adoration like this: prayer time in your room is great, but it's more like a letter. It's just writing somebody, communicating, but you're not like with them. And then prayer time in a church with a tabernacle, that's like a phone call. So you hear their voice, you know they're there, but you know it's not quite that same connection. Adoration is prayer time face to face with Christ. You're with him. In adoration, you're face to face with the God who created the universe, and he does this for you. Like Saint Teresa says, Jesus is waiting for you in the chapel. Mother Teresa, she said, if you want to grow in love, go back to the Eucharist, because the Eucharist is love. God loves you so much, he becomes small and vulnerable just so he can spend time with you. The Eucharist tells us so much about who God is. He's loving, he's humble, he becomes vulnerable so that he can spend time with you. You know, he's the God of the universe, and he becomes what looks like a little piece of bread just so he can spend time with us. Like, he warns when we don't pay attention to him. He's like, I didn't come down from heaven to spend time in a gold box. I came to spend time with you. Oh, and so if you go there, go to Adoration Chapel, and you fall asleep, it's okay. I mean, try not to fall asleep, but it's okay. I've done it before. I was clearly really tired. But like it's so funny because Saint Teresa, she was like, she would fall asleep during, I think it was the Rosary, all the time. She'd be like, I just fall asleep in the arms of God, and I think that's so beautiful. I mean, even if you're asleep, and you shouldn't really try to fall asleep in chapel, it's still pretty cool, like you're falling asleep in the arms of God. In the description, I put a article called A Beginner's Guide to Adoration, and I'm not necessarily a beginner. I've been going since like 7th or 8th grade, so that's 3 or 4 years. At the same time, I still bring my rosary, I still bring my Bible. Patience, oh my gosh, I don't even want to talk about my patience, my ability to wait, and my ability to not get angry. Let's not talk about that. And silence. I struggle with silence more than is needed to explain. So in that sense, I think we can all claim to be beginners. Like, whether you've been going to Adoration since you were 5, or whether you didn't even know this thing existed. We're all beginners. So a few weeks ago, I was on the way home from the Nashville trip that I was on about 3 weeks ago. We were coming home, and one of the sisters was talking about how she brought back a book on spiritual theology. It was a beginner's book on spiritual theology, and she said, because I always feel like I'm in that place. I'm always in the place of a beginner. And I'm like, you've been a nun for 10 years, and you're still a beginner? What am I supposed to be? I hardly cared about my faith for more than 3 years. So, so we're all beginners, don't worry. We're all in this together. We're all in this together. Back to Adoration after my concert. So back to Adoration. Adoration is normally silent. Now, if you go on a retreat, it depends on what kind of retreat, but if it's like a youth retreat, a lot of times Adoration isn't silent. But we're going to focus on just like the 24/7 chapel that you will find in parishes. It's normally silent. And I know silence is very difficult. We are so used to noise, and even if we're always used to Netflix or iTunes or whatever playing, or if there's not music going, we're always on our phones or our computers. I am totally guilty of this. That's what I'm working on this Lent. Do that. Work on that this Lent. But that's what silence helps us know ourselves, because it's in that silence that we, like, the stuff that we push down and shove down, that's when that surfaces, and we get to say, okay, why is this here? Why am I feeling this way? Lord, can you speak through this? Can you heal this? Whatever. So adoration is to spend time with Christ, and it's to better know yourself, and it's to better know God. So go to adoration so that you can know yourself better, and so that you can get to know God as your friend. Speak to Him from your heart. He's your friend. He's your Father. He loves you, and He wants you to come to Him. Okay, so I don't know if you've seen my other videos on the Eucharist. You should also see them. So they're here and here, and then also these other videos are really good. There's one by Father Mike, who's always the awesome one, on silence, and then there's one, it's about a nun who, like, she focuses on adoration.